As a young Indian woman, I've always been aware of arranged marriages from my family, but how do they work now and can they be modern? How will I get married? That's the question I'm asked, not when, how. So when I explain that, no, I'm not having an arranged marriage, but I can if I want one, people are often shocked. The reaction isn't so surprising. For those unfamiliar with the concept, an arranged marriage might mean something like this.
From what I've heard, like women being kind of forced into marriages.
It's sad, really. I think in today's world, you've seen a lot of women that you feel perhaps haven't had the choice.
It shouldn't be in the modern age.
To me, that's not right. It's not the way forward.
In the West, an arranged marriage is often confused with a forced marriage, where the bride or groom enters into a marriage without giving their consent. We should establish that a forced marriage is illegal. An arranged marriage is when your family helps you to find a partner. They make an introduction, but the rest is up to you. Arranged marriages always involve consent, and they happen all over the world. They're common in Africa, the Middle East, and South Asia. And in India, it's estimated that 90% of all marriages are arranged. But the fact that a young person, educated in the West, would choose to have an arranged marriage over a free choice or love marriage might seem puzzling to some. So I'd come to Leicester to find out why 29-year-old Razan is happy for her parents to find her a partner.
I get shown a picture, if I like it or not. Sometimes even if I'm like, well, it's okay, I'm not quite sure. My dad's like, well, let them just come to the house, talk to them, and then if you see if there's anything that, if you're compatible, if the person's interesting, and then take it from there, really. If your parents have got a certain idea or a person, it's not going to hurt. They're not going to, you go into a room and they literally force you to you're marrying right now. You do have a choice. There is free will, and you're just in a kind of a relaxed environment, bit of food on the table, hopefully it's been available. I like to eat. So, you can have some food, you can just talk, and it's just normal.
For Razan, she believes her parents can be trusted to pick her a good spouse without the influence of lust or emotion, which she says has hurt her in the past. And actually, for most of history, marriages have been formed for pragmatic reasons rather than for love. In England, the institution of marriage was more of a union of rank and property, and parents valued security for their daughters over romance. Among aristocracy and royalty, where wealth and inheritance are involved, arranged marriages have been practiced for centuries.
Arranged marriages have been and are deeply entrenched practices and have been and are common in many families and households. And many families see that as a religious obligation, a religious duty. There's so many cases that I've dealt with where young women have disclosed that they feel that they've had to honour the love of their parents and put their own love on hold. Of course, the ties that bind are incredibly strong, and they can pull and push individuals into adhering to cultural expectations. It's almost seen as that you shouldn't marry for love, that love comes after marriage.
To find out more from someone who's had an arranged marriage, I'd come to a sweet shop in Manchester to meet NHS worker Nagma. Nagma had her marriage arranged in Pakistan when she was 29, before moving to England with her husband. You said that you'd had an arranged marriage and it was something you told it has to work, and you were always expecting to have an arranged marriage. What was that like, and do you think it's changed?
My husband came from England and he was from long distance family member. My granddad said, that's it. And I got married in few days, like a week. I was working in school and I went to give my resign, and I said I am leaving because I'm getting married on this Friday. My marriage was arranged, but me and my husband brought up like that we have to work this marriage. So we are okay now. We can understand each other and we know what we want. But children now, they want to have understanding with each other first before the marriage. So this is very important for them.
For Nagma, her marriage was arranged through family connections. Another method involves a couple meeting through a matchmaker, sometimes known as a rishta auntie. But Shahzad Yunus says that the coronavirus pandemic has put technology at the forefront, with families now turning to marriage websites, social media groups, and apps to browse through profiles.
During COVID, we've had people literally over Zoom, families have got to know each other, and then even almost over Zoom, they've had a nikah, which is the Islamic marriage. So it's really kind of good to see. And their goal is, once the world's back to normal and COVID's over, we'll have a proper wedding, So it's really nice to see. And I think one really good thing is it's made it even easier for people to get married.
Shahzad Yunus is the founder of a Muslim dating app. He believes that technology is the best way for families to connect now, and he's critical of traditional matchmaking. The online world of matchmaking isn't that easy to navigate either. There's a lot out there. There's even groups dedicated just for doctors or just for engineers and even for castes. And in these groups, people post biodatas. It's sort of like a marriage CV of sorts. And you can include as much information as you want, from your skin tone to even your salary. And people can also list their requirements. For example, this woman says that she wants someone with a stable job and no temper issues. And this mother says that she wants a girl who's at least 5'4" for her son and modest dressing. And under all of their information, they list no time wasters.
With the rise of online dating, there is a trend of assisted marriages, so kind of hybrid marriage practices that are really taking off. There's almost like an economic approach to marriage these days, also about the transactional aspect of it.
From what I've seen online, women are treated as though they have a shelf life. I rarely see men searching for women older than 25. Reach 26, and your marriage profile might come with assurances that you look younger. For dentist Jamshed Mansoor, Nagma's son, he's tried meeting women through family connections and through apps and WhatsApp groups. But he's yet to find someone he connects with.
Now, when you said like my mum's trying to find me someone, my dad's trying to find me someone, it's like copy and paste a profile, send it to Jam's WhatsApp, and then I'll open it up, and then it's like, oh, right, okay. So I have to analyse this almost. And he's like, oh, okay, I really don't know what to say because I'm not doing it in an organic way, it's very synthetic. But at least there's the scope for them to say, right, here's this person's number, speak to this person on WhatsApp, rather than just, right, meet up, family are going to prepare a dinner, I don't know what I'm walking myself into, and then by the end of it, it doesn't make you feel good, Jazz. You're left almost, if you don't get to the next stage, it's like you've just spent 2-3 hours in a household and made to feel like you're not good enough. It's not nice for anyone. This culture, parents worry even more about stuff like this, I think, rather than other cultures, because it's like, oh my God, Jam, you're this age, what's going to happen? You need to sort your life out. I care a lot for my parents, and I respect them, and I don't want them to be sad or unhappy, just like any other decent son or daughter. But at the same time, I just cannot sacrifice that part of myself. For the reasons to make them happy, I don't know whether I'm willing to just do that.
Arranged marriages have been a long-standing tradition in South Asian culture, passed down through generations. And for many, they ensure that marriage is based on religious and cultural principles. But that's not to say they always have a happy ending. Sira Mahmood Khan had her marriage arranged in Pakistan when she was 18.
We basically, it was like a honeymoon period when I was in Pakistan. So, everybody would come and see the bride, give gifts, just go to dinner parties, they invite you round. So it was just about dressing up and eating nice and just exploring. When he came to the UK, that's when we couldn't really connect. There was respect there and there was everything there, but it was like not for me.
Eventually, their marriage ended in divorce. But what happens if you want an arranged marriage and there's no obvious path for you?
The thing is that mostly arranged marriages happen between a man and a woman, so it actually is very heteronormative.
Somrido says he would like to have an arranged marriage, but as a gay androgynous man, there are limited options for him.
I think most South Asians believe that queer people aren't worthy enough of being part of a traditional custom or of like a long standing tradition and stuff like that, which is like quite saddening. I really like want this to like change and stuff, but it's just like not the case at the moment, because like India, like, so basically the like gay rights were like made legal like in India back in 2018 and stuff, but people, like the society still like hasn't like accepted like people who are queer, people who are gay. So you still like wouldn't like see like any arranged marriages in like India like for gay couples.
Speaking to Somrido helped to highlight that for arranged marriages to keep evolving, they have to be inclusive. Would you let your parents arrange your marriage?
Yes, I don't mind, because my parents will always do good for me. So I don't mind doing arranged marriage. I think it's better for me as well.
If you're okay with it, if you can't find your loved one, if you're not having a partner, it's fine. But for me personally, I found my partner. We met around 5 years ago, so I would not prefer arranged marriage.
Do you think an arranged marriage can be modern?
No.
If the name changes to introduction.
No. Nope.
All right then, okay, brilliant. That's it?
It's all about the luck. Because sometimes arranged marriages can work out, sometimes love marriages work out, sometimes neither one of them can work out, so it just depends on luck.
Mine was an arranged marriage, and it's lasted 30 years. So in that way, it's a good thing, but nowadays it's all changed. Now they meet people at uni, college, and decide for themselves, which I think is okay now.
Culture is not static. Cultures are not static, and the communities, the diaspora communities that I've worked with, they're continually evolving. We shouldn't assume that all Asian families are the same and all communities are the same. We need to recognise and also celebrate diversity within. There are individuals who are not married, who actually are in a relationship. They are in a relationship and they don't have children. They are in same-sex relationships. And I think some parents are having to sit with themselves, actually literally sit with themselves, and having to lean into the times that we're in. Because you see, the harm that's done by saying the ties that bind means that it's my way or the highway, well, that comes at a cost.
Although explaining arranged marriage seems simple enough, I've discovered that the actual process is far more complex. Young people now have a variety of options that weren't available to their parents' and grandparents' generation. And yet, the process can be alienating for those who aren't deemed worthy enough to take part, and for those who are trying to navigate their own preferences and that of their families.